Welcome to this episode of From Grassroots to Greatness, the journey to the top. Bruce Oliver is your host as he interviews movers and shakers inside the world of soccer success. The program will begin shortly.
Hello, I'm Bruce Oliver. Welcome to this episode. Today on Grassroots to Greatness, we're sitting down with a coach who has become one of the most respected architects of high school soccer and the culture of Central Ohio, Jordan McMurray, head coach of Dublin Scioto men's soccer, has built a program defined by discipline, identity, and genuine player development. He's the kind of coach who doesn't just prepare athletes for the next match, he prepares them for the next chapter of their lives. Jordan blends a teacher's mindset with a competitor's fire. His players learn to think the game, take ownership of their growth, and embrace the standards that shape successful teams and successful people. Under his leadership, the high school has earned a reputation for producing technically sharp, tactically aware, and mentally resilient young men. Today, we'll explore Jordan's coaching journey, the culture he has built, and the values that guide him on the pitch, in the classroom, and in the lives of athletes he mentors. Well, welcome to the program. How are you doing today?
Great, thank you. I appreciate the introduction.
Yes. And you've got a great background. Can you walk us through your journey from coaching and the key experiences that shaped you into who you are today as a leader of young athletes in Ohio?
Sure. So I started coaching my senior year in high school. I started coaching a recreational team in the area and really enjoyed it and kept doing it. And then I took a break for a while. And my wife actually told me that she thought I enjoyed coaching so much that I should pursue it further. And so I got back into coaching in club and ended up getting fortunate enough to take over a high school program in 2018. And then I stayed at that program for 3 years and left to go coach in college for a year at the University of Wittenberg. And then I didn't enjoy the college game as much as I did the high school game. So I came back to high school and took over a program in Central Ohio, Jonathan Alder, and I stayed there for 3 seasons. And then this past off season, I left Jonathan Alder to take the head coaching position at another high school in the Central here, Dublin Scioto. So I have my USSFB license. I have my master's degree in soccer coaching from Ohio University, and I teach coaching courses with US Soccer. I teach the grassroots courses and the D course.
Very interesting. Well, during this time in your development, you've started to look for players' traits and you evaluate them. When you're evaluating a new player, what specific traits or characteristics stand out to you as an essential for success in your program?
One of the main things that we really look for in a person, just from a soccer aspect, is how hard they're going to be willing to work for their teammates. We call it grinding. I don't know if there's a better term for that. But those are the kinds of athletes that we're looking for, guys who do want to grind and just work really hard in every session and in every game and battle for their teammates. And then off the field, we're just looking for athletes who are good people, good students, have a positive impact in the community. We have a team handbook that talks about the culture that we have at our program. And a lot of that has nothing to do, a lot of that handbook has nothing to do with soccer. It's about your life outside of sports and how you can be a better student in the classroom, how you can be a bigger impact in your community, ways that you can give back to the community through community service or other things, networking with alumni to keep alumni connected to the program. And so we try to use that to help mold them so that that they can have an impact once they leave our program.
Well, that's excellent. How many students typically go from your program on to college and to other programs?
It varies a little bit from year to year depending on like how good that specific senior class is. Just this past senior class, we had four of the I let's see, we had seven graduate as seniors. Four of them had an opportunity to play in college, and only one of them is going to. The other three wanted to pursue specific academic programs and really focus on them, so they turned down the opportunity. For example, one of them wants to be an engineer, so he's going to go to one of the best engineering schools around, and that's really important to him, which is important to us as well. We always tell them that, you know, your success isn't going to be defined if you play after high school. So they chose not to. But in the year before, we had five kids leave to play soccer. A couple of them had some choices to make whether they wanted to play at a Division One program. One of them got offered to join one of the second teams with the MLS. So they ended up joining the Crew 2 for a while and playing there before leaving and going to college to play. So it really depends. One of them actually left and is playing on a team in Italy in the third division.
Oh,
So
wow.
we've had some really talented kids come through who wanted to play after, and we've had some really exceptional humans who are really talented who could have played at the next level, but just decided not to. They wanted to focus on life after soccer.
Well, that's smart because there has to be life after soccer. Even the professionals, I know a few professionals that have retired, and if they don't have something to go to, they haven't done a good program in college, or they haven't got a career after soccer, then their livelihood is gone because how many years can you play soccer?
Right. That's right. That's what when we were just talking a second ago, when you were asking what we look for in athletes, and then I was speaking a little bit about the handbook that we have. That's what it's really about. Is that unfortunately, Mother Time's undefeated, and so we can't play forever. So, so there's going to be an end of your soccer career. So we're just trying to get them ready for that, so that they have a plan and they understand that soccer is something that you do. It doesn't define who you are. It's something that we enjoy, and so you should enjoy it. And then when it's your time to be done with it, it's your time to be done, and you move on. And you got to be prepared for it.
Well, that's absolutely true. I know a couple of pros that have retired, but they continue to play. And the funny thing is they say, uh, these kids are running circles around me.
Yeah,
Reminds me of me when I was that age. So
right.
it's interesting. Um, so with your reflections on what you learned, if you could go back and start your coaching career again, what would you do differently and how would you apply it earlier?
I think one thing that's impacted my ability to get to certain places was that I did not play in college. I
Hmm.
tried to play basketball in college, and I walked on at a small college where I was, and then decided that I wasn't going to play sports at all, and I ended up going to Ohio State, which was great. But having something like that on your resume allows you to ascend to different levels a little bit quicker. Um, so you can get into different rooms with people and get certain types of experience. It just took me a little bit longer to build my resume up so I could get to those levels. But I don't know if I would change that because a lot of that process of me doing all of that helped me become the coach that I am now. So like I don't know if fast tracking would have been the best thing that was for me. One of my best experiences was FC Barcelona had a club here in Ohio for a while.
Hmm.
And so they had five coaches and one technical director who came directly from their training ground in Spain, La Masia. And so I got to meet one of the technical directors and I became friends with him. And he would attend all of the training sessions. And so I really learned how to take Barcelona's actual methodology that they have for their club and apply it in a real world training session. And he showed me how to do it, how to take like the ideas that they have written on the paper, which anybody can get their methodology. I think it's shared in PDFs online. But to be able to read it and then take it to the field is a totally different thing. And he showed me how to do that. And that's an experience that if I maybe had played in college and then right into coaching in college, I might not have been able to meet with him or learn how to do some of those things. And some of that is the basis for a lot of my success as a coach is learning from someone like that. So I don't know that that's a really long way for me to say I don't know if I would change anything
No,
about my
I
approach.
and I understand that. It's Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. And sometimes a branch in the road, one branch sends you in another direction and another one in the other direction. But if you got the same goal in mind, then it comes back
That's
and
right.
you can go on with the experiences that you had going down the other road. So this is the second time I've heard a coach or somebody in the industry mention this, that they wish they had done something a little bit different, maybe gone into soccer earlier or gone into the program that they're in. Actually, it was a hockey coach that said this to me.
Hmm.
And it would maybe change the outcome.
Yeah.
But looking back at my life, there's a whole bunch of roads that I could have taken, and significantly would have changed the way things end up. But if you've got the same interest, and I say to people, just build on what you've done, and that's what you seem to have done. If you've got any experience or lessons for young people, what would you say to them about changing or going forward with their careers?
I think one of the things that we have this conversation with club kids all the time, um, that the platform that you're playing for doesn't automatically make you a good or a bad player. So you shouldn't chase that, but you should be going after what you think is the best opportunity for you to develop personally and enjoy the game. And what I mean by that is if you play for an MLS Next club or an ECNL club, that doesn't automatically qualify you to get better, right? It's about the environment that you're in. It's about the coaches that are at that specific club and your teammates if you enjoy going to practice. And so you should chase good leadership, right? Or a good
Correct.
situation where you know that you're going to enjoy going to practice, enjoy playing the games, and get better more than just going after having a sticker on the back of your jersey that has pick your favorite league. Because
Mhm.
that doesn't always, at the end of the day, result in you being happy. And when you look back on your career, you'll be more happy that you spent time with good coaches and teammates and that you got to learn things from the game than you will have just to say that you played in some high level league.
Excellent. Well, if there's one more thing that you would like to say today to young people and parents about soccer, their soccer careers, becoming a pro, or just going on in life, what would you say to them?
Ooh, becoming a pro, it would be a hard one. I think from just the pro aspect of it, there's such a randomness to being able to get to pro, right? It's not just
Mhm.
being the top athlete or the best player. Sometimes those players don't get noticed. Sometimes it's just about being in the right place at the right time, or
Absolutely.
that's where you're supposed to be. So I wouldn't, not that that's not a bad goal. That's a great goal to have, something to work towards, but I wouldn't chase it endlessly. I would, like I mentioned before, I'd try to be at a club where what's best for your personal development. What do you guys think is the best for you, regardless of whether it's a professional league or even just a recreational league? What's best for you at this moment in time for you to get better and to chase your goals? So from that aspect, That's what I would say about that. I think the other thing is soccer is one of the best games ever because you all you need is a round ball and an empty area of grass to play it, right? I know the
Absolutely.
club has gotten crazy and expensive at times with certain places, but just to go outside and play in the park and have pickup and play for fun, it costs virtually nothing. You need one soccer ball and some friends, and sometimes you don't even need friends. You just need a concrete wall that you can kick the ball up against. So
Absolutely.
that's one of the great things about our sport is how simple it can be to just play with friends and have fun.
You have to enjoy the moment.
That's right. And if you don't enjoy it, then it doesn't matter where you're playing or what you're doing. It might not even be soccer, right? It could be
That's
any other
true.
sport. If you don't enjoy it, then you're not going to have fun. And that's the whole point of all these games in the first place.
Absolutely. Life's too short.
That's right.
Life's too short to do what you don't like doing. And this sport is going to get more and more profitable,
Yeah.
but that's not everything.
You know, the funniest part about, to mention the profit thing, kids, when they talk about like the high school seasons that we've had from before, they largely don't mention when we've ordered a bunch of food for team meals or practice gear or anything. Most of the time, they talk about the bus rides there and back with their friends when you're spending time together with the coaches. They really seem to enjoy that. Like those are the times where they're having the most fun, and those are the memories that they have, right? Playing silly music on a speaker in the back of the bus and everybody singing and having fun. So you can do that in any sport, but that's what to go back to what you said. It's about the moments that you're going to enjoy inside of it.
Absolutely. I agree fully. That's like anything. Most people, even if you talk about family stuff, the times that you enjoyed being together and
Yeah.
singing and enjoying company of other people. Well, Jordan, I really appreciate you coming on the pitch today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's been a pleasure, and I hope that we can stay in touch. Maybe we'll get some affiliation with
That'd be great.
the club that I'm in, affiliated with in Northern Ireland, Dublin in Dublin, or Ireland in Ireland.
That's right.
Well, if you like this episode, follow, subscribe, and support the show on Patreon. I appreciate you. This
Thank
is
you.
From Grassroots to Greatness, the journey to the top, where stories like Jordan McMurray's remind us of what real development looks like on and off the pitch. Until next time, we'll see you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Wilson from Belfast in Northern Ireland. Join me on Bruce's podcast, From Grassroots to Greatness. See you soon.
You've been listening to From Grassroots to Greatness, the journey to the top. Please like, follow, and share. Until next time, cheers from Bruce Oliver, soccer agent and co-owner of Carrick Rangers Football Club in Northern Ireland.